So Juliet's sleeping, but something happened with Romeo.
Romeo doesn't know about the plans of the priest.
Yeah, some reason, I don't remember why, but he doesn't get the info. The priest can't tell him for some reason. So he doesn't know what the plan is. So what
I
happens?
think the priest forgot to information him about it.
Forgot to give him the information. Oh my God. That's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Hello, Mimi Milo. How are you
Hello.
today? Hello.
I feel very good.
Oh, that's good because I feel good too. I feel really good. Yeah. You heard our little conversation about dreams, huh?
Dreams?
That light's too bright. I think that bright's too light. Yeah. Well, it's true. It's where it starts, right? If you don't have a dream, what have you got?
My dream last night is a bit bad, and I don't know how to. I don't know. I don't want to remember anymore. Anytime, in every way.
Oh, that's called a nightmare.
Yeah.
A nightmare. Something wrong with my lights. They're so bright on my face, but they're turned way down. Yeah, that's a nightmare. That's a little bit different, but we all get them sometimes. Dreams are a funny thing because they come from our subconscious mind, and it's like telling us a story, and we don't know what's going to happen next. And sometimes it seems so weird and so real.
I wish that I will have a dream car. It's a bit ridiculous and hilarious, but it's fun.
You wish you had a dream what?
Dream car.
A dream car.
No, it's like this. I need to box down.
Dream core.
Yeah.
What is a dream core?
I think it's weird. Like there's no logical in that dream.
No logic in the dream.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there's a lot of dreams like that. I have some weird dreams sometimes, and they're not too logical. All right, Mimi Milo, we have got 3 parts to our test. Did we have 3 parts in our Interest 19, or is this the first time? I think we had 3 parts. Okay. First part, social interaction. I'm just going to ask you some questions about 2 topics. Part 2, I'm going to ask you about, we're going to discuss a solution to a problem. Not really a problem, but which one. I'm going to give you 2 choices. You'll pick one and explain to me why you like that and not the other one. And then the last one's really simple. We're going to go over our lesson of Romeo and Juliet, and I'm going to score you on comprehension. Very easy, just a little bit time consuming. Are you ready?
Right now.
Part 1. Part 1 is going to be topic 1, neighborhood. Now, you could talk about the neighbors as well if you like, because they're part of the neighborhood. They're what make the neighborhood. Do you like your neighborhood?
I think I like it a bit. But then my neighbors are very boring, and I don't have any friendship with them.
Oh, so the neighbors are a bit boring and not too friendly. Do they have kids there too? Your neighbors?
Yeah, they have kids, but they are younger than me, so I don't have friends near my house.
Oh, okay. But So that was neighborhood. Do you prefer the mornings or the evenings in your area?
I prefer the evenings in my neighborhood. It's very beautiful and the weather is good. It's not very hot or very cold.
So not very hot, not very cold. The evenings are nicer. Do you like the lights at nighttime?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Do you see lots of stars in the moon?
I don't see any stars or something, but I just see the moon, but the stars is very few.
But it's a pretty small place, so you should be able to have a good view of the stars there. Yeah, it's not a big city. Okay. So I know you're not crazy about the neighbors, or you don't get. It's not that you're not crazy, but you don't get it. You're not that friendly. What could be done in your neighborhood to make things better?
I think I need to be more friendly.
So how could we make the place more friendly?
I I think just get well with each other and everything will be good. I think so.
Maybe more community activities or something, so people get to know each other better.
There's I think there's not too many activities or sometimes there's no any activities for our neighbors.
Yeah, that I find that a problem too, because I lived up there for how many years? 7 years. I lived in Kumfa, and I had problems with every neighbor too. We lived in 3 or 4 different places, and everywhere as we moved, it just seemed like a lot of people were cranky. Like it's not easy to get along with your neighbors. But in Da Nang, we've lived in 2 different places now, and mostly everyone is super nice, super nice. No problems with any neighbors or nobody here. It's very different. Okay, let's go to part 2. I mean, topic 2. Okay, topic 2 is going to be about food. Nice and easy.
I like food.
Yeah. Some
Everyone
people.
like food.
Yeah, some people don't like food. Can you believe it? They don't want to eat nothing.
Yeah, I know about that person.
You know about those
That
people?
person.
They must be really thin, really
Yeah,
skinny.
like just like my brother, he doesn't like to eat.
He doesn't like to eat either, huh?
Yeah.
I like to eat. Eating is good. Yeah, a lot of food I like. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food is noodle and beef noodle soup. And you can call it like a phở bò,
Pho bois, yeah, and beef noodle.
beef noodle
Noodles.
soup.
Yeah, that's very popular.
Yeah,
Even for breakfast too. A lot of people eat that in the morning. Yeah.
yeah. And today's breakfast I eat noodle soup, but there's no topic,
No.
no topping.
Oh, no toppings for it.
Yeah,
Why do you think you like noodle soup so much?
because I like noodles very much.
Okay. Not the instant noodles. You mean like fresh noodles and cook it in fresh water and or are
Yeah,
you talking about instant noodles?
I like to. I like a fresh noodle and fresh water to cook in.
Okay. Yeah, because the instant noodles are not too good for you. Too many chemicals. So you can eat noodles at home all the time, and there's lots of noodle shops. What other kind of restaurants would you like or food? What type of restaurants do you enjoy the most besides noodles?
I like every type of restaurant, but I like Japanese food restaurants most.
Japanese.
Japanese,
Ah, cool.
yeah,
So you like sushi?
sushi, sashimi, and some kind like that.
Yeah, they're good too.
They're very soft,
Salty?
soft.
Soft, yeah, with the seaweed wraps and the raw fish inside. Yeah, I like that too. That's really good.
And there is a small one near my house. It's very delicious. Oh my gosh.
So you can go there easily. You can go to the Japanese restaurant easily from your house. You can walk there.
Yeah, we can walk there. I'm not very
Cool.
tired to go there.
No, because it's something you like. How often do you go to this Japanese restaurant? Once a week? Once a month?
Mm, last month, I went to that restaurant with my family and my friend. Uh, in last week, I think so. My friends and I went to that restaurant.
So you went twice last month, once with
Yeah,
your family and once with your friend.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So we talked about stuff that you like. What about things you didn't like? What was the worst meal of your life?
I think the worst meal I was trying is one of my relatives' meal 5 years ago, and
Relatives.
my relatives approached, and after eat that meal, after ate that meal, I got sick.
Oh my God, that sounds really bad.
Yeah,
What the heck did they make? What was so bad?
I think it's because the ingredients not too fresh.
And they served it to their family? Oh my God. What was it?
Mm,
Squid,
I
meat, fish?
think there's a lot, and I don't very remember because it's 5 years ago.
You remember getting sick, but you don't remember what you ate? Really?
Yeah, because it's 5 years ago.
Okay. Mm, I remember what I ate when I don't like it. That's for sure. So I don't eat it again. All right, then. That's it for part one. We're going to go to part two. All right, Mimi Milo, solution discussion. Education is changing rapidly, and many students are studying online now. Although some parents believe online studying is not as effective as on site schools. Which do you think is the best option? And again, we're not talking so much about state school. We're talking more about the extra education, night classes, weekends. Um, so you'll have to choose, but I'm going to give you a minute to make some notes of which one you would choose or you think is best, and a little bit of information about which one is not so good and why. So you have 1 minute starting now. One minute is up, Miss Mimi Milo.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you think is the best option?
I think on-site school is better. Because we can discuss a bit problem with our teachers, and it's easier to contact with our our teachers, and it's don't bother other students.
So definitely easier to talk to the other students. Bigger classes for sure. But you think it's easier to talk to your teacher in a classroom than online?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So what disadvantages do you see with online teaching, online classes?
The online class, sometimes student will get sometimes student will get distraction and play games while the class is opening, and they will play games and play some social media,
Yeah.
and it's not very good, not really good.
Easier for them to watch YouTube or something else while they're in class. Yeah. Yeah, that can be the bad thing too. If there's no supervision, um, kids can get away with a lot more online than the kids if you're in a classroom. It's very hard to sit there and play with your handphone in front of the teacher. And here you have the handphone right next to you. That is true. That is true. Okay, that's pretty good answers. What about, would a 50-50 approach be possible? I think Nishka from India, one of our students in Interest 31, she said that at her school now, you only go to school half the time. Half is online and half you go to the school.
It's, I think it's a nice way for education, because
So it
sometimes
could work.
when yeah, it could work with
And you,
possibility situations.
yeah, I don't remember. I'll have to ask her what classes. I think she said like tests, they have to go to the school, of course, test time. And for like the introductory classes for explanations, materials, things like that, they have to go to the school. But then a lot of the classes, because you have all the material, a lot of the classes are just conducted online. And but it's choice. You know, for example, let's say I have an English class right now in the classroom, and then I have my whiteboard here. So I'm standing up and I'm teaching English and I'm writing on the board or I'm sharing slides. Um, but also, what they did is they put a camera on the desk. So in front of the desk, I mean, so that people, if you're studying at home, you can see the teacher and the whiteboard and the slides, but you don't see the students behind you. So the classes are run, they're run both ways now. Like, so if you don't go, like you can come to the class and sit in the class, or you can just go to Zoom and watch the teacher teach the class and ask questions because you still have a microphone, right? So same thing. So that sounds really interesting. We're trying to do that with the school right now, actually, with Donnie's mom. We're trying to do that with her school, but we're having microphone problems.
I have to. It's a bit muffled.
It's a bit what?
It's a bit muffled.
Muffle?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean doing it in the classroom like that? Yeah, that was the problem. I couldn't hear the students and they couldn't use their handphones because it just created all this echo. So that was the problem. But I think with the right technology, it's possible. It can be good. And it's good when kids are sick too and they stay home, they can still join the class. All right, what about the future? How do you foresee the future of basic education, basic general education? Do you think the state schools and stuff will change?
In Vietnam, education is changing rapidly, and that change is inconvenient than the past. I think so.
Things become more convenient.
Inconvenient. I think so.
Inconvenient. So you think it'll get worse?
things
Not
get worse. And last month I went to my cousin's home and I opened her book, and I think it's not very not conve not very not very convenient, and it's hard to study though.
hard to study in the classrooms
It's hard to study from that book.
from the book. So how would it be? Okay, I'm trying to. It's you think it's not going to get better; it's going to get worse because you think the books are not good.
Also not good, and
The content, so the curriculum of the courses is not very good.
yeah, the content lesson is more worse now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's one way of looking at it because I think that is a big problem in every country right now. I think we're teaching in old styles for for our grandparents' generations, and it doesn't really apply to the new world now.
Especially is the history. Yeah, history.
Yeah, in history, they only tell you a lot about their own. Canada's the same. It's mostly all about Canada, not the world. And I agree with that. I agree with the problems with today's education for sure. It needs to change. But I do believe in the future. I think parents are going to start getting upset. I think in the West, they're getting very upset. And the students are very upset too because they're graduating and they're taking university degrees and they have all these loans to pay and they can't get a job because it doesn't really teach them about the real world anymore. Everything has changed.
Yeah, it's just like some student when they graduate graduate and they can't get a job.
Yeah. So the education needs to change. But I'm the opposite. I think it will change because I think people have had enough as enough. It takes time. It might take another decade or two before the governments listen. But I think it will change in the future for the better. I certainly hope so. I hope you're wrong. I hope it does get better for sure. But that's why you have to do a lot of self education right now because a lot of your education is going to come from self interests, not just your school. So you should be studying all kinds of other things too. Okay. Good answers. Let's go to part 3. Okay, so part 3, reading comprehension. We're going to review the story of Romeo and Juliet. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet?
It's William Shakespeare.
Yeah, William Shakespeare wrote a lot of famous plays. Yeah. So who were Romeo and Juliet? Who are these people?
Romeo is a member of Montague family, and Juliet is from the Capulet family.
So what does that mean? What's with the Capulet family and the Montague family? What's special about them? Why is that important?
Hmm. Can you ask again? I have some problem.
Why is it important that Romeo is from the Montague family and Juliet is from the Capulet family? Why is that significant? Why is that important?
Hmm. It's just fictional characters, and I
Yeah.
think this doesn't important.
Well, it is. Yeah, that's because when you say that, the answer starts good. You say, and I say, who are Romeo and Juliet? Romeo comes from the Montague family, and Juliet comes from the Capulet family. But the whole story is based on a big problem. right? What is the big problem?
The big problem that these two family hate each other and they
Exactly. So that's what all of a sudden makes the story interesting. Because there's always, if you're going to write a story, there always has to be a problem so that you have something you have to do to fix or solve, right? So that's why it's important because they hate each other. But the story is about Romeo and Juliet and their love.
they're in love.
Yeah. So that's a big problem because they hate each other. And they're not going to like that very much. That's right. So I guess I kind of gave away some of the story here. Why is it one of the most famous love stories in the world?
Mm.
What do you think makes, I mean, there's lots of dramatic love stories and war love stories and fighting love stories and comedy love stories, romantic movies. Why is this one so famous?
I think because it's plot is it deals with universal themes.
Deals with universal themes that
Yeah,
families hate each other.
hate each other,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's common. It's common from young adults who are in love.
And their parents disagree. Yeah, that's part of it for sure, right? Because now you have the families involved, which often the families are involved when two kids are in love. But I think what makes it so famous is the twist at the end. Can you imagine if you didn't know the story and you went to watch the play for the first time and nobody knows what's going to happen? And then the end happens the way it happens, like, oh my God, I didn't expect that. Right? There would be big surprises, real big twists.
Will be plot twist, and it's sad ending. It's sad ending.
Yeah. It's not a happy ending. It's a sad ending. That's right. Okay. I'm going to skip the next one because we already talked a lot about what is the story about. So we already got the idea. So what happened in one of the fights?
Mm,
What caused a whole bunch of new problems?
Romeo killed one of Juliet's cousin, and she has to run away from Verona.
She has to run away, or he has to
He
run
he
away?
he he. Sorry.
He has to run away. Yeah, because otherwise they'll probably want to kill him. Yeah, not good if you kill someone in the fight. Fighting is one thing, but killing someone's a different one. So he has to run away from Verona. How did the
City.
what?
The city.
Yeah, to another city. So how did the priest, Friar Lawrence, help them? Because he married them secretly. Nobody knew, but he wants to help them. He wants them to be together. So he makes a plan. What was the plan? How did he try to help them?
Uh, the priest, Friar Lawrence, he gives Juliet a special potion, and will make Juliet fall asleep for 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
and her family will think she is dead. But
Right.
she just sleep, and she
So
will
she went to
wake
sleep.
up soon. But
So how did it end? The plan was she's gonna sleep, and then when she wakes up, everybody will think she's dead, and she's gonna run away and go meet Romeo in another city and live their life happily ever after.
happily
Everything's gonna be
ever.
great. Happily ever after. That's how they say that. But that's not what happened. So how did the story end? So Juliet's sleeping, but something happened with Romeo.
Romeo doesn't know about the plans of the priest.
Yeah, some reason I don't remember why, but he doesn't get the info. The priest can't tell him for some reason, so he doesn't know what the plan is. So what
I
happens?
think the priest forgot to information him about it.
Forgot to give him the information. Oh my God. That's a serious problem.
Yeah.
I think I remember watching one of the latest movies. Remember the guy from Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio? Jack?
I
Remember Jack from Titan? Oh, you never saw Titanic?
I never saw it.
Oh, okay. Well, he played Romeo in a movie called Romeo and Juliet too. It was a bit different. But I think what happened was when they faked Juliet's death, the families had the priest come and stay with them or something. So he couldn't contact Romeo and tell Romeo the truth about what happened. That's what I think happened. But anyway, so she's sleeping. Romeo doesn't know the plan. So what happens?
Romeo doesn't know about the plan, so he thinks that Juliet is dead. He is so upset and he takes the poison.
He's so upset. He thinks she's dead too. Yeah, and he takes the poison. So what happens after that?
Juliet killed herself with a Romeo's knife.
So Romeo takes the poison, and then what happens before she kills herself? What does she do? Because she was sleeping,
Juliet
right? She woke up. Yeah, she woke up and saw that Romeo was dead and he had poison with him. Not the potion. He had the poison. Yeah, that's right. And she's so upset now, she decides to kill herself too with Romeo's knife. Unbelievable. Now everybody's going to think Romeo killed her and that Romeo committed suicide after.
And after that I think that Montague family and Capulet family will hate each other more and more.
Yeah, Donnie thought that they would stop fighting after this, but I disagree. I agree with you. I think now they're probably going to kill each other. They're probably going to hate each other even more now after losing the cousin, and now they lost their son and they lost their daughter. Oh my God. That's not a family dinner or reunion I would want to go to. That would be very dangerous. All right, Mimi Milo, we are finished. Interest 20. You did good. You did good. You did good. So I'm going to go do Lily now, and I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you next week in Interest 21. We're getting there. Bye, Mimi Milo.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
You too.